So I'm working on a new project and I needed something for my camera. I needed a gimbal. And I found this here by Hohem. Absolutely incredible. You can take your camera, put on this tripod, and basically have a cameraman. You tell the camera to follow you, it follows you around, and you just stop when you want it to stop. So not only from just sitting still on a tripod or some kind of table like this, you can pick it up and it stays and keeps the position for whatever you're trying to focus in on. So if you're trying to get a really, really good cinematic type shot, this is what you would use. Let me bring you in a little bit closer and show you what this thing's all about. See you here in a second. iSteady MT2 Kit. Absolutely awesome. 4-in-1 camera stabilizer with full light and AI vision sensor. Absolutely incredible. So let's go ahead and get this thing unboxed and get it charged up. I just cannot wait to see what's in here. Just the box is pretty. So here's everything that's in the box, all these parts and pieces, and we'll go over this in detail here in a little bit. And this is just absolutely incredible for all kinds of different, smartphones to GoPros to cameras to larger cameras. And there it is. It comes in a case. Absolutely awesome. So let's slide this case on out. All right, here we go. So the case right off the bat just feels really, really good. Looks like we got a bunch of connectors here. What an assortment. A manual. And then the front here, got the little stand that goes on the bottom of it. Very solid. Got some rubber feet on it. What do we got here? Parts and pieces. Got something else in that pocket. There's another mounting piece. One more spot over here. Cell phone holder. Multiple different mounting places on the back. Okay, now we need to pull the next cover up. Boom. Hold down there. That strap kind of holds that piece in. Another mounting device. Then that little magnetic or little key for tightening up all this stuff, and then a little magnetic base right there for it to stick to. That's pretty cool. Let's take a peek at this guy. Oh my goodness, look at that. I can't wait to really dive into this, get it all charged up, work on all the controls on it. Man, would you look at that? That is so awesome. It just looks good. It feels good. It feels very, very high tech. And there is the AI sensor. Very, very cool. All right, let's put that back in its parking space here. That magnet holds that on there really, really nice. Very, very cool. Looks incredible. I cannot wait to see how it performs. So that is the lock for that side. Looks like the lock for that side. And then this is the lock for that side. So I guess what we need to do now is get this charged up. I'm going to take a crash course in it, learn the ins and outs, and then I'm going to be back and we're going to go over this thing in detail. It's a nice little tripod. So that just screws onto the bottom. Pretty straightforward. Nice and tight. Open it up. And boom. There it is. Nice and sturdy. Looks like this all has to be unlocked. So there's a lock here on this part that turns this way, and then a lock here which goes this way, and then this lock here which this turns on. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock each one of them. All right, that one's unlocked. So smooth. Holy moly. All right, back to the second lock. All right, so second lock is right here. I'm gonna unlock that one. So now that is unlocked. Very nice. It is just so smooth. It's not even running yet. All right, and then the last lock, which is right here. So now it's all unlocked. Very, very cool. For now, I'm gonna lock all this back. There we go, back in the lock position. Very nice. So this is my new camera. This is the Canon EOS R7 with a kind of a starter lens on it. Still a really, really nice lens. This is the 18-150. So let's go ahead and get the base on it. It screws right down in there. I'm just going to make it kind of go halfway for now until I figure out what I'm doing. Next is this little piece. It's got a little rubber side here. It looks like it goes on this side of the camera. It's got a little release here and then a latch, and then of course that little magnetic piece right here for holding that little key for tightening up the screws. So it looks like we're going to put it on this way. Yep, it goes through and actually locks until you push that little lever in right there, which releases it. Very, very nice. And this here looks like it locks it in place, and I gotta be honest with you, it fits my camera perfect. I haven't even loosened those screws yet. So next, the camera slides down in this piece right here. It's got a little release button here that releases it, and then this locks it down. So I'm going to go ahead and slide that in there. Put it at this angle so you can see it. Goes right on in. So it's all on here. Everything's still locked down. So I guess what we need to do now is unlock everything and then kind of level it. All right, that's that. Immediately wants to go down with my lens. It's definitely out of balance right now, so we've got to balance all that up. And then that axis there. Very, very cool. So it looks like we're supposed to lock all this into position and then balance everything. This axis needs to be balanced first, if you can see that. So right here we need to loosen this up and slide this where it pretty much balances itself. I need to go back just a tad. I think that's about the best we're going to get on that. So now I think we've got to adjust this direction. Unlock this here, slide it back a tad. That's more like it. So now we're pretty balanced. Looks like I can go forward just a tad. That looks good right there. Let's go ahead and lock it. All right, that's that. We've got to adjust this angle like this. So we're going to unlock this and see what it does. Yeah, so it's going to pull down. So it looks like we need to unlock it and slide it this way a tad. A little more. Oh, there it goes, almost. Look at that. I'll be a pro at this before I know it. So that looks good right there. So we're going to lock that down. Look at that. Woo! All right, so that looks good. Let's move on to the next step. So it looks like I got one more step here, and that is balancing it this way, pointing, I believe, in this direction. So let's adjust that. Let's unlock that, move this until we can get that to straighten up. Oh, went a little too far. Wow, it's so touchy. All right, I think that's good right there. I think that'll do it. So we're going to lock that down. All right, I think I have it pretty much where it needs to be. I'm going to work on this a little bit more. This is my first time running this through and kind of figuring out what's going on. So what we've got to do now is power this thing up. Hold this button in. Oh my goodness. It just came to life. Holy moly, look at that. That is incredible. Okay, so now we got to figure out all the functions. So we got this thing pretty balanced. I think with a little more adjustment I can get it better. But the thing is going to be is when I zoom in on something or I need to get it at a certain zoom, then it's going to have to be rebalanced. So what I've got to do now is find the cable that's going to work for this camera for this device. So here is the camera set up. I'm completely balanced, have my mic on here, have all my cables hooked up, and it's just exactly where it needs to be, even calibrated, and I'll show you that here in a second. So depending on your device and how this gimbaling system communicates with your device is how it's going to react. My biggest thing is the PF setting. All right, so this button right here, you can go through all your different settings: PTF, L, POV. Me, it's PF, and that is just being able to follow something and control what I'm looking at in a very slow motion to be able to record something the way that I want it. That's very important. Now, the other thing that's really cool that I will use is the joystick feature. All right, so I can move this around with the joystick. Now, a lot of lenses, you can control the lens. This here is a manual lens, so I have to focus it what I'm working on in order to balance everything. That is the key. This thing has to be balanced. Now, it has an app. The app, once you get it all balanced, you can go into these settings and do a calibration. I'm just going to show you this. This is important because it balances this exactly and sets exactly where you need it. So now it's going through the calibration. It's going to find its level spot and then finish. Boom, that's it. So that was the most important thing. And of course, downloading the app and getting it connected and all that, that's a whole nother story. The app in itself has so many features that you can control right from your phone. And when you connect this to your smartphone, oh my gosh, it's absolutely incredible. Like I said, it would take hours for me to go over all those details. So all right, so right now we're on video and I want to record. So all I do is hit the record button and it's recording. You want to stop, you stop. Picture's the same way. If you put it on picture, then you hit that button and focus and all that good stuff, depending on what camera controls you have with this gimbaling system. That's not what this video is about. This is about my experience with my camera and my setup. And then of course the AI. Oh my gosh, absolutely incredible. So the AI, I showed you that in the beginning. There's hand gestures, and that controls how this will follow you around and record. Absolutely incredible. Now, some of the other features that I didn't go over is right up here on the top, there is another little 1/4-inch screw where you can put additional lights, but if you put that on there, then you got to balance this stuff or calibrate it. And then another little spot right here where you could actually take this base and screw right into the side to where you can hold this gimbaling system just like this. Really, really cool. All right, I did it again. Way too much time on this video, but it's really hard to show all the features that this device has in a very short time. There's a lot of good information out here on this device. Hope that helps, and we'll talk to you next time.